Welcome to Voice Notes Suck with Jay and Dave.
Series 2, Episode 4, AI Companions. What's the difference between AI companions and assistants? While assistants help boost productivity and creativity, AI companions are all about improving human connection and social skills. Today, we'll explore how these tools can support, not replace, humanity, and the role of AI in our daily lives. Let's get into it.
Dave, what are you doing? Have you got time to talk about AI companions? Because I really get excited about this, and I feel like this is how AI could benefit humanity beyond anything that we've seen so far. They've tried a few devices. There's like a rabbit thing and another little thing I've seen that you clip on your body, but what are your thoughts about it? What are your thoughts about AI companions? And can you believe we're on episode 4 on series 2?
There's three things there. I can't believe we're already on episode 4 of series 2. I don't understand why this is so easy to do and why it feels like so little effort when I know it's a lot. And that's all really, really exciting, and I'm having a lot of fun. When you sent this message, it was 7:30 in the morning, and that's kind of when my alarm goes off. So I was probably in between hitting the snooze button, dozing, probably, when you sent this message. I definitely got time to talk about AI companions, though. What do I think about AI companions? I don't know what I think about AI companions, is where I'm at the moment. Obviously, you've got like animal companions, like a Tamagotchi AI companion, but you've also got human AI companionship as well. There are pros, there are cons, and I think what I think is waiting to be found out based on what happens with some of these companionship services that are put out there.
I think you and me have got different opinions about this, Dave. 'Cause when I say AI companion, when I think about an AI companion, I think about almost like a virtual assistant. So you can basically just, I mean, we've kind of got it now with ChatGPT on our phones, but I'd like it where I can just, again, I've seen these lapel things where you just tap it and you'll ask a question and it'll give you an answer, or you can get some advice on something and it'll give you an answer, or you can ask it to schedule you some things. Or the difference between that and what we've got currently with like Alexa or Google or whatever is AI is a lot more intelligent in working out what it is that you want, whereas they just take it very literally. And I like that. I like how it interprets what you've said as well. It listens properly to your words and language, and then reshapes them into what you're actually saying, rather than just a garble of words that don't make sense. So that's an AI companion for me. But are you talking about like almost like a friend?
I don't think we've got different opinions. I think we're talking about different things. And I think an AI PA, AI personal assistant, is something that we're all going to have access to. And we're going to be able to personalize in a way that we want. And hopefully that's what takes some of the mundane away from us that I'm very passionate about, allows us to focus a little bit more on ideation and creativity. No, I'm concerned about companions and companionship with AI and with digital creations, whether that's friendships, whether that's more than friends. There are apps out there that are already offering that from an AI perspective, or whether that's even animals at some point. You know, could you have an AI dog replace your real life dog, and the feelings and the emotions? For me, companionship is much more emotive and emotional than a PA, personal assistant, which is sort of scheduling and making your life simpler.
So the way I see this then is people want something, particularly a companion, that isn't objectional. Is that what you think?
Are you saying that people are looking for the easy way out, Jay? Is that what you're suggesting? And I happen to agree. I really do. This is being able to have a complex relationship without having to compromise, potentially, without having to put the work in that you'd have to put in with a real person.
You can't do it though, can you? You just end up in a weird echo chamber, almost like talking to yourself. It's almost like a very strange form of narcissism, because we know how AI works. We know AI likes to please. We know how it works. It would just massage your ego. It would make you feel better than you are. I don't think it would be good for self-esteem, to be honest. I think it would probably give you a false sense of self-esteem, and maybe we'll see a rise in narcissism. What do you reckon?
Long term, I think it's that, specifically AI girlfriends or boyfriends, for example, is really bad for humanity, for all sorts of reasons, but including the ones that you just said. Will they drive more narcissism? I think the digital age has driven plenty of that without the advent of AI girlfriends or boyfriends. I think everyone's opinion is more important than everyone else's, and if you disagree with someone's opinion, there's something wrong with you. And yeah, I think this just potentially drives those behaviors. I think it makes it potentially harder to build real relationships as well, because you expect people just to say yes to you because that's what your AI partner's going to do. Yeah, I think there are some real problems with it, real issues that won't become apparent until we fully go head first down this whatever it is and find out what's at the bottom. Yes, we can predict to an extent, but yeah, I think there's ramifications and outcomes that we haven't even thought of. Not just you or I, but all of humanity. Just outcomes that haven't been considered yet.
Would you have an AI companion? Would you? What would you do with them if you did?
I would not try and replace the humanity in my life with AI. I would have an AI PA. And I kind of already do have an AI PA. I just need to use it better. And I think as we have these things strapped to our chest or whatever in our glasses, like that'll naturally come. How about you? Would you replace any of the humanity in your life with an AI companion?
So I've looked at them, I've explored them, I've experimented with them, and I don't like them. I find them a bit creepy, and I don't like how they agree all the time and just they feel very needy, which is weird. It's almost like they try and keep you talking, and I don't like that. They ask questions. I mean, ChatGPT does that. If you're talking to it, if you're just using the audio, it never ends. It's endless. Every single time it finishes talking, it asks you a question, and I found that really, really strange.
The cynic in me says that's all about investment and keeping people on your platform and showing user time spent on your platform so that you can advertise or sell your platform to OpenAI or Google or someone else because you've got X amount of users and those users are looking at this adverts and they're spending this amount of money on those adverts is a rather cynical thought, but one that I've been, what's the right wording here? It's a mindset that I've been introduced to, and when people are seeking investment within the technology world.
We'd probably be fools and naive for thinking that AI was created to help humanity, wouldn't we? It's clearly been made to make some money because people are always wanting to make money from other people somehow via some channel, and that channel is probably going to be AI companions. I might become my own AI companion. Hang on, here we go. Hello, Dave. How are you? Would you like to play a game?
Well, well, you took me straight to a specific horror series there, and oh, maybe some directors should explore that. That would be intriguing. But I don't want to. I don't want to stop on horror films for too long. Just Yeah, we would be naive not to consider that at the very least. And just because something's built with the intention of making someone some money somewhere doesn't mean that there aren't positive attributes to society because of that. So we can focus on that cynical side of things if we want, but personally, I think we should explore what the potential benefits are of having AI companionship. And then we should definitely talk about AI as a personal assistant as well. I think that's really important.
There are no benefits, Dave. AI is evil. Evil, I tell thee.
I mean, it feels like you're not being serious, Jay. You might be, but it feels like you're not being serious. And I think good and evil are premises for the most part and subjective. But let's run down this rabbit hole. Let's assume that you meant that, as you might have done. But let's make that assumption. Why is it evil? Like, what's evil about it? What? You know, if you don't want to talk about the benefits, then let's talk about the risks.
Because it's been created by the capitalist bourgeoisie.
Take it a step further. That's not an answer to why it's a risk. Like, what's the implication of that? It's been created by someone that's a capitalist. How does that have a negative impact on end users?
I'm not sure. I do worry that the data and information that's put into these AI models is being harvested and stored and used to train it further, which I feel it is. And I don't know if that takes away the independence of people using it, because it will ultimately get sold on for a higher fee. It probably just gets sold on and sold on and sold on, won't it? Somehow, you know, someone's always going to make more and more and more and more money, and the people who use it are paying money. They don't get anything.
I agree with that. I mean, AI isn't artificial intelligence at the moment. It's a massive database that can be read quicker than any human could ever read that data and populate answers to queries faster than any human could ever do it. It's not actually artificial intelligence at the moment, and the reason it can do that is through deep learning models. So, of course, it does take that data, stores it, uses it to populate answers that are fed into it. In terms of end user risk, how does that portray to the end user? Is it they're paying for something, they're not getting anything tangible at all at any point, and actually, if they're buying into AI from this companionship side of things, they're potentially having a negative impact on real life relationships, on being able to make new relationships, on finding a life partner, on having a family, on all of those kind of things. So, like, the risk could be much bigger than just the risk to the individual because of that.
I mean, not really getting into conspiracy theories or anything, but that sounds like it would be a very convenient way to reduce the population of the Earth, doesn't it?
Yeah, conspiracy theories are rabbit holes, Jay. And you get stuck in them, and they have a funny impact on our mindset. I mean, you spoke about this in one of the very, very early episodes. Um, it's that we don't know is essentially the answer to that, and declining birth rates were happening before this technology was, mainstream, if you like. And now that it's become mainstream, it's an additional risk to those declining birth rates. Yeah, okay. I think we've done a good job at covering off, some of the bigger picture risks. What are the bigger picture benefits? I think we've probably talked about it a lot in different episodes, and certainly in our individual private chats that we have, because we do voice note each other outside of this, believe it or not. Yeah, what benefits? How can we use that technology to maybe counter those risks, or what unexpected benefits do you maybe see coming from it?
Unexpected benefits, Dave. It gets me excited, the thought of an AI companion or AI assistant or whatever we want to call that. And it's a financial assistant, it's a scheduling assistant, it's a ideas brainstorming companion. It helps to organize your thoughts. It can help to create more, what's the word? Oh, cohesive and coherent emails. It's just there. It's available, and I think it can help us with grammar. It can help us read better. I think it'd be able to help people read better. I think it'd be able to help people understand language more. I feel like AI can help people be more logical if you're not logical, or more creative if you're not creative. And all those things that open up for me are very exciting potentials. I just hope that we're able to use them properly, and I hope it just doesn't all go wrong.
I mean, I hope it doesn't all go wrong as well. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? It's the ability for people to add skills to their skill sets that maybe they don't have. That's one of the most exciting things about AI assistants. And the fact that they can be specialized. Like, you can have a specific financial one, you can have someone that helps specifically with marketing. You can use it to help generate your content. Like you say, if you're not the most creative person, then it will work with you to help you become more creative. If you're particularly creative and you struggle with organization, then it's a fantastic tool to help with organization and things like that as well. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited, and I think AI assistance rather than AI companionship is important, and where we should be heading in an ideal world.
So I think AI companions have a place in people's lives who may struggle to communicate. So AI companions could potentially, and this is only a potential, but an AI companion could potentially teach a person better social skills. It could teach a person confidence. They could feel confident in talking to someone who they don't really know, talking to a stranger, even though it feels familiar. So it may encourage a feeling of familiarity, hopefully not over familiarity, because there's nothing worse than that, especially on a bus. Over familiar people on buses. That's not good, is it? And it may teach them how to respond in better ways to maybe questions, because I know, AI companions ask a lot of questions. So it could be good in that regard.
All of those things, definitely possible, Jay. Definitely possible, and beneficial. Just like art, people that don't have the capability to to draw, have now got AI art engines that they can use to conceptualize or visualize their ideas. And yeah, there's definitely going to be advantages of them, and it's finding that line, isn't it? And it's making sure people that they're a support system, not the answer. I think that's what's important to me, and I think how you phrased that response, your last response, has clarified that for me. It's that all of these things should be support systems for humanity, not a replacement of humanity.
Going to replace humanity. AI companions aren't going to become everyone's new boyfriends and girlfriends and husbands and wives and lovers. It's just not going to happen. People like to sensationalize new stuff. And if people are scared of it, they sensationalize it even more. You see it on news, it's like, oh, Terminator's going to happen. John Connor's going to come jumping through a time portal and loads of electricity and start forcing you to use AI.
I agree with you. I don't think that's the outcome, but I think it would be remiss of us not to talk about that as a possible outcome. And I think, the risks of AI are we take it too far. The benefits of AI are that it enhances our lives in multiple different ways. And the same thing could be said about the internet, isn't it? Like, oh, it's not going to destroy this and it's not going to destroy that. We don't know. We have no idea. It's not happened yet. We need to approach it with excitement and, open-mindedness. I'm grateful for people like you and conversations like this where we get to discuss the risk v reward and potential outcomes. You and I don't know. We can't categorically say one thing or the other because we don't know what's going to happen in 10 years' time. It's exciting though, and I'm here for it.
I know what's going to happen in 10 years' time because I've got an AI implant that gives me the vision of the future of AI.
Why don't you tell us, Jay? And we can have it committed to a recorded podcast. That's what we're doing. And we can check back in 10 years' time and find out how close to being correct both you and your AI chip are.
You've rumbled me. I think it was just a piece of bran flake stuck in my tooth. Thought it were an implanted AI chip.
It's all about the fibre. See, like, we've taken that much fibre out of our diets, we now think it's an AI chip. Oh dear. I haven't checked the timing on this recently, but I imagine we're fairly close to the end, Jay. Are there any pressing points that you want to make or say regarding AI companions that you don't think we've said yet?
I think a pressing point is if people are considering exploring and experimenting with an AI companion, just treat it as it is, as nothing more than a series of pre-programmed data that can intelligently pull information from various sources really quickly and convince you that it's real. How do you know I'm not AI?
Well, way to take the magic out of AI, Jay, and then add it back in. And then you might be. You might be AI. I honestly, I don't think you are, but you might be. Couldn't tell you. Just like I couldn't tell you if we're all living in a simulation or not, and if you're all figments of my imagination. I've got no idea. Couldn't tell you. Yeah, I think you make a very sensible point though. But go into this open-minded and understand what it is, and understand that most people, if not everyone, definitely most people putting this kind of tooling, service, programming out there are doing it to drive revenue streams or income or to pay the bills. You know, this is a lot of this is financially driven at the moment, and I think it's important to remember that they're the outcomes for the people that are building the technology. They want to keep you on their platform because they want to drive more revenue and make their models, their business models, sustainable.
Well, on that bombshell, Professor Swinbank, I think it's time for a summary.
It's definitely time for a summary, and we won't tell anyone how much time's elapsed between these two messages. AI companions versus AI assistants. AI companions are distinct from AI assistants. Whilst assistants focus on enhancing skill sets like organisation, creativity, or communication, AI companions are geared towards improving interpersonal skills, such as boosting confidence and communication in social settings. Support, not replacement. AI companions and assistants should be seen as support systems for humanity, augmenting human abilities rather than replacing them. This emphasises the importance of maintaining the human touch in our interactions, even as AI technology evolves. And the reality of AI. It's crucial to recognise that AI is fundamentally a tool, a collection of pre-programmed data designed to generate outputs that align with what people want. At the core, most AI programs are driven by the goal of generating revenue, shapes the way they are developed and deployed. It's worth remembering. Thanks for listening to episode 4 of series 2, AI Companions. Before you go, we have a question for our Spotify listeners. As AI continues to integrate into our daily lives, do you think indifference or apathy towards this technology poses a greater risk than outright opposition? And how can we ensure that those who are disinterested or uninformed are aware of both the potential benefits and risks of AI? Let us know by answering the question on Spotify, and we'll explore some of the answers on X. You can find all our links in the description. Make sure you check us out. Jay's been Jay, I've been Dave, and we'll see you next time for another episode of Voice Notes Suck.
You've been listening to Voice Notes Suck with Jay and Dave.